Hi, my name's Imogen and I'm from imoves, and this is the lovely Ryan, and he's a classroom teacher, deputy head and PE lead. And what we want to do today is give you our expertise in how you get your classroom a bit more active. And we all know why activity is good. It's because it helps the child feel more switched on, focused, ready to learn. They're happier, they're healthier. So little quick wins to get them up and at it throughout the day. And we're going to start with the active register.
Yep, start of the day.
Start of the day. So what would you do, my darling, to get them up?
Well, I think it's the first thing to notice is that when we are doing the registers, our children are typically sat down doing stuff, and it's the start of the day, and we do want them to come into the classroom settled. But there are opportunities for the kids to actually still be building a little bit of activity into that first part of the morning routine. One of my favourite things to do is we call it alphabet yoga.
Nice.
And essentially, when it is register time and the children are answering their names, we get them to stand up and we get them to either spell their names using their bodies, so creating the shapes of however their name is, which is great if you're called Ava, very simple. Bit more complicated if you're called Guinevere. So what we tend to do as a leveler is we get the children to choose one name to spell. So everyone is spelling one name. Or we might choose one of our spelling words. So whatever our word of the day is or word of the week is or part of our spellings, we have that on the board and then they spell that out. So they have to get up on their feet, they answer the register, they say yes, they're here, they want dinners, they want sandwiches, but they are pulling the letters, they're making the shapes of the word as they go. And once they have completed that, then they sit back down and they carry on with the tasks that's been set for them that morning.
That sounds brilliant. Okay, let's have a look at another idea as well. So you've just been talking about another little idea that you do as they're walking into the classroom. Tell me about that.
Yeah, a lovely moment to make sure that every child is seen and acknowledged as they come in and have that personal one-to-one connection with the teacher, but also in an active way. So rather than just sort of walking in and taking their seat, we like to do a personalised welcome as they enter into the classroom. So the child gets to decide. There's a range of different stickers that's on the edge of the door. You may have seen this before, where children can decide whether they want a hug or whether they want a high five or whether they want to do some kind of cool handshake. It's like that, but it's adapted with movement. So instead of having one of those choices, instead it's well, do you want to do some kind of sort of like funky hopscotch on the spot? Do you want to do the handshakes are always good winners. So you want to do some funky handshake that involves doing some kind of turn and spizzle before you come in and settle down. So it's whatever your class decides to do, really. So you have a little vote beforehand, so you make it something that the children have been actively involved in setting out. You have 2, 3 or 4 different options at the start. So as they've come in, they've put their coats on the hooks, hopefully put their book bags and things in the correct place and not just launched it on the floor somewhere. Which they generally do. And then as they're at the door, they greet the teacher and then they do one of these extra little things. That's not so much about building extra activity into the day, but it's about connecting an enjoyment factor with being active.
And building that trust with the teacher.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then when you do ask them to do activity a bit later on, which you will do,
absolutely.
then they go, all right, then he's a bit cool, that guy. I quite like him.
And it was fun, and I didn't feel unsafe, I didn't feel out of breath, I didn't feel all of the things that children sort of might have that self-conscious negative connotations about it's all gone because they're just having a bit of fun with being active.
And everyone's on the same kind of boat, aren't they? Everyone's got on the activity boat by then.
And because they get to choose what they want, it can flex depending on how their mood is at the start of the day. So you may have those dogs that are always there. That's I go, and they really always want to do the big spectacular one. But you'll always have some that are always a bit more refined.
The cats.
The cats that are a bit more shy. And then if you've got an option that gives them still a positive connection with being active, but doesn't require them to be too out of their comfort zone, it's still a win.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds great. I want to be in your class.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we've got 2 more ideas for you. The one that I really liked was if it was your birthday month, you're doing something different to what everybody else is doing. And that might be wearing a birthday hat. Yeah,
well, we love a birthday hat.
Or a birthday move of some description.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of highlights the fact that it's their birthday, a bit special that month. So, let's be a bit kinder and a bit, All of that science. I love that idea.
Yeah.
Would you use that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the important thing to do is that you make sure your class are aware of what the moves are ahead of time.
Yeah.
So there's a generic move that everyone does. Again, if they're answering their name in the register, they're standing up, they're doing the action before they go back down.
Yeah.
But if it happens to be that your birthday is within that month, oh, lucky you, because you get to do the special birthday groove instead. You know, and maybe there's music going on in the background or something like that. Which kids don't love celebrating their birthdays? You know, when they're there.
Our 11-year-old, she's 8 months prior to her birthday.
She's doing the countdown.
She's doing the countdown. It's ridiculous. It's like so meticulously planned.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So she'll be joining in going, yeah, you know, it's my birthday in 8 months' time. Can I do the groovy thing? Just so that everyone knows when it's time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness me. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So the next one is the odd and even one.
Yeah.
Now this is a bit trickier, but it's probably for the older kids.
Yeah.
But I really like this. So they have to pay attention to what's going on in the room as well. Yeah. So they need a bit of brain space for this one, don't they? This
is a bit like a quick up and down actions again. The idea is that if you're an odd numbered person on the register, you do one particular action. And if you're an even numbered person on the register, you do a different action. So the first person on the register will be doing
an odd, whatever, like I don't know. Let's go with it. Let's go with the star jump because you know
the lovely
we can all do those.
Up and star jump, and then the second person does
squat.
Lovely, a lovely classroom squattage.
Bit of exercise.
And so then the next person, because they hear the register every day, they know who comes before them and who comes after them. So that's the only thing they need to track, really. But they need to make sure that they have seen what action has happened to the person before, because they need to do the opposite one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's about building a bit of personal awareness as well and focus, which is all good for our kids, because we know how sometimes focus is the antithesis of things that we achieve in the classroom with ease. So why not try and do something that builds a little bit more of that focus and attention into it as well.
I love it. So that's our active registration element done. And if you like this kind of stuff and you want to get your kids much more active in the classroom, then watch out for us, because we'll be popping up quite a few times in the next few months with our expertise in how to get your children much more active in the classroom. So if you're a primary school teacher and you're into this kind of thing, then hang around with us, because we kind of know what we're doing.
Yeah, there's more gems on the way.
Yeah.
Don't scroll past it, because it'll be game changers in the classroom.
Absolutely. We'll see you next time.